Good morning, everybody. This is my screen, right? So, people who are joining online, please keep yourself mute. And if you have any question, so please keep on the raise your hand button. I will try if I can get your attention. Okay. Or you can chat your question in the conversation tab. Okay. So people who are here, at least I like one person or a few people, please join in to team and let me know if the screen is not visible. Okay, you understand? Who has a laptop? Or you can join in, please? Or if you better, if you please sit on the front. Who has a laptop and how many of you have joined on Team app right now? Everybody got a link, right? Class link? Okay. That's good. So some people will be joining virtually, but I like some volunteers, at least one. Okay. So just check periodically in case the screen is not visible. Yeah, please tell me, okay? That's good, but it's better if you please come in the front. Then I will have quick communication with them. Yeah. And I would appreciate if you can volunteer for me every day in every lecture, okay? And sit in the front, please. Thank you so much. And I uploaded my last lecture video. Actually, the lecture video for this course, for this session was not good. So I uploaded lecture video from another section. Okay. This one. Actually, I teach two sections of 1321. Here at this morning, 9:30, and I have another section. Your section is section 4. I have another section, section 5, that start at 3:30. So sometimes if I see that this video is good, I will upload this. And if I see that another video is good, I will upload this, okay? But in case if I face any technical issue, if I cannot save my file, I'm sorry, that I will link to my previous lecture video. I will try to upload the lecture videos within 24 hours or next day or as soon as possible, but I will see how soon. What is the record button? Okay, so camera is over here. I'm looking for the record button. Okay, start recording. So I'll be recording in two places in case okay, so people who cannot join in face to face, please watch my recorded lecture video at least one time, and hopefully before you come to the next lecture. Okay, and then as I am teaching two sections, I will try my best to keep synchronous between the sections. I will try my best to teach same thing in two sections, but as a human being I cannot do 100% the same, right? Maybe 80% or 90% will be similar, section to section, okay, every day. So in case I miss to record a video of one section, another section will work for me. Okay, so everybody knows this YouTube channel address, right? Okay, so now let us start. So according to our module, you have our syllabus and policy quizzes that are due by 30th. But check that as soon as possible. because, and you need to get 100% point in your syllabus and policy quizzes. Otherwise, you will not be able to see other modules, module 2 to last one, in D12. There is a restriction. You have to achieve 100% point in the syllabus and policy quizzes. Okay, you can take it multiple times. This is just the question will be from the syllabus and the first year experience policy. So that you become familiar with the policies and syllabus. Okay. Okay, and achieve 100% point here, please. Okay. So in our last lecture, we discussed two slides. So you know the books are here, right? The link of the books are here. So download the books from here, PDF copy, and save it in your folder. Okay, and the reading slides, like the reading schedule, it will tell you, give you some idea. It may not be 100% accurate, but when you read the book, you can find if there is any mistake, you can do it. So it says that for the introduction to module 1, which pages you should read. Okay, so the one thing is that I did not tell you in last lecture, but I will tell you. So in this course, we are going to teach or discuss or learn how to start programming. And another thing, how to use introduction to programming and problem solving, and how to solve some problems, not all, using a programming language. At least one programming language, but we intend to do in 3 programming languages, right? Okay, and you have to take a lab course. Everybody is taking a lab course, right? Okay, and in our last lecture, we discussed our introduction and welcome slides. We discussed our welcome slides, and I gave you some overview what we will be teaching, and I did not tell you what I will not be teaching. Okay, so one thing is that I will not be teaching a few things. First of all, you may have noticed that I am not a native English speaker. This is not an English class. I am not teaching English. I am not very good in English, but I am very good, very good in this course, in programming. Okay, so as long as you understand English as your own language, you should understand me. If you do not understand my voice or accent, if you really do not like me, then there is an option, you can switch to another section. There are other professors who are native English speaker. Okay, so you may see that I will do some mistakes in grammatical or spelling or pronouncing. Okay, please forgive me. Okay, and another thing, that this course heavily required mathematical concept. Okay, like math, not that in depth, but for instance, regular math, addition, multiplication, subtraction, division. Okay, the order of operation, we will discuss some, but you should know it, right? Okay, so I will not be teaching math in this course. Okay, but for instance, we will discuss something that are relevant. Let me see if I get my I don't know, last night my computer was updated. It is very slow. Oh, I did not. I don't know. Okay, maybe I got something. Okay, if I can write in 16, can you do it here? Okay, got it. So what is my slide? So what is 16 divided by 4 times 4? You see my screen? My question is that what is 16 divided by 4 times 4? What is that? 16? Anyone has any another answer? Other than 16? 1? Who said 1? Anyone said 1? 2, 3, at least 3 people, okay? Okay, I will not be teaching this. And I don't like to embarrass you, but when you go home, please learn. Review it, okay? This is a high school math. Even not high school, this is a middle school, or even not middle school, this is an elementary school math. Okay? This result is 16. So some people confuse. No, okay, you are confusing because there is no parenthesis over here, and you need to understand the order of operation. So the order of operation between multiplication and division is sometimes confusing. If you are not taught accurately in your high school or middle school, then you should know that the order of operation of it, there are 2 things: precedence and associativity. The associativity means that from which order, left to right or right to left, it works. It works left to right, multiplication, division, okay? And then precedence is that which one is needed to work first. In this case, since for multiplication division operators, associativity is precedence is same. Now we need to consider the associativity. Associativity is left to right. So whichever comes first, we need to work first. Okay, so division comes first. So 16 divided by 4 equal to 4. Then times 4. So the result is 16. If you do not consider that, or if there was a set of parentheses over here, then the result would be 1. But there was no parenthesis here, right? So result was 16. So I will not teach, I will not embarrass you again. Okay, I will not, but my concept is that I will not teach math in this course. You understand? Okay. It is expected that you understand math. But if needed, please review your math. Okay. So, what is one? So in our last lecture, we discussed our welcome slides, like this slide. Welcome to first year experience page, and I went through this page by page of all of these slides, and I discussed about our test policy. Okay, and there is no makeup, and there is no extension for quizzes, and I discussed all of these things, and we told you that this will be our main point of information. This is our hub. Okay, we will get all of information from that page. Okay, and then we discuss part of part 1. Okay, so we started from here, and let us start our journey today with this slide again. Okay. Okay, maybe that's better. So algorithm versus programming. We discussed that what is an algorithm. An algorithm is a logical sequence of some steps that is used to solve a problem. In our daily life, we always use algorithm. We always use algorithm every day. But maybe sometimes we do not realize that this is an algorithm. Okay. Sometimes we use complex algorithms, sometimes we use easier algorithms. So there are a lot of research are being conducted to make or to develop better or easier algorithms, especially in the field of computer science. Like for instance, how to sort some numbers. Sorting is difficult. Okay, how to sort some numbers in ascending or descending order quickly, as quickly as possible. A long time research is going on in this field. Okay, people are still doing research. There are other research, like for instance, how to. Okay, so we will discuss our content of this course. We will think algorithmically. Okay, that means we will discuss systematically. We will learn programming systematically. There are many people who did not take like this kind of course, who do not take, but they learn programming themselves or somewhere else directly. Okay, without learning any theories. So we the computer scientists, we believe that that is not a good way to learn. We need lifelong learning. Okay, so in your future you will be learning 4, 5, maybe 10 languages, programming languages. Okay, so the key thing is that if you learn one language as much as possible, okay, one language if you are good in one language, then you will be ultimately good in other languages quickly. You can learn other languages. Okay, so this programming language is kind of like human languages. In human languages, we follow grammar, right? Like people, I learned English as my second language, so I first learned grammar. Okay, then I memorize vocabulary. Something. This is pen, this is pencil. Okay, this is book. Then I learned spelling. I practice spelling, right? And then I started translating or making small sentence, then a paragraph, then an essay. Okay? But people who many of you are in here, English as your first language, right? You did not learn English that way. You learn English like by listening from your mom or parents, right? And then speaking. And then later, after 4 or 5 years old, then you started writing. Okay? And then later you started grammar. So that means there are two ways or multiple ways to learn a language. Right? Starting from grammar or starting without grammar. So people, same thing for programming languages. Some people jump into programming. They don't like to learn theories or grammars. Okay, but like we will be learning the programming language like a second language. Okay, we will not jump into programming fast. We will learn the concept little by little. Understand? And that is called algorithmic thinking, that we will think something before we write even a single line of code. We need to understand what I am writing and what will be the effect of this statement. Okay? We will not do that let me write the code and run the program and then see if the output if it gives my expected output. We will not go that way. That is not called algorithmic thinking, systematic way, okay? And so an algorithm is a step-by-step process that takes some data and data are sent or algorithms are applied on data and it gives us some output. We discussed this. So this is a recipe, it's called an algorithm. Everybody know that it's a recipe for cooking recipe, okay? These are the ingredients, or these ingredients are data, and these are the instructions. We need to follow this instruction almost for all cases sequentially. For instance, if we forget to preheat the oven for this first step, maybe we will not get our expected chocolate, right? So we have to follow the steps systematically. And in writing an algorithm, we follow some guidelines that have some properties. Okay, that an algorithm should be precise, it must be unambiguous, it must be complete, it must be correct, it must be as simple as possible, and it should contain some level of abstraction. Right? So, except the last one, everybody is familiar with all of this, right? So, an algorithm. What is an algorithm? I give an example. For instance, if I ask you how to go to the nearest Walmart, okay, you will tell me go right, then the next step, next stop, turn left, and go 2 miles. That's right? In the 30 seconds or 10 seconds, it will be fine. Okay, but if you take 10 minutes to explain me how to go to the Walmart, I will not listen to you, right? That is not a good algorithm. Okay? And also, if you tell me that go that way and go, keep going, there is no stop. Okay, that is not good. That is not complete, right? Okay? So we know this in our daily life, okay? But using algorithm, when we write an algorithm, we use abstract word. For instance, it is just enough that if you tell me go to the next stop and turn left. But you do not need to tell me go to the next stop and wait. Okay, because I know how I should wait on the stop sign, right? The stop sign itself is abstract, because it does not say how long I need to stop, right? Based on a situation, and if there is an accident, I may stop an hour in a stop sign. Okay, if there is no other vehicle in a 4-way stop, maybe I need to stop 1 second at least. Sometimes I may need to stop several minutes, right? So the stop sign itself is an abstract word. So you will see that in our course we will use abstract or abstraction a lot. The concept is that many people confuse about the term abstraction. What is abstraction? When you read an article or newspaper or journal, you see the abstraction in one paragraph, very simple. It will just tell you what is this about. It will not tell you in detail. Okay, in our daily life, last time I gave you an example. In our daily life, we use abstraction a lot. Sometimes we will use abstraction, and sometimes we do not use abstraction. I'm sorry. So, for instance, we write that 10 to the power 3 equal to 1,000, right? So we know that, right? So, but if someone asks me how much your laptop cost, we say $1,000. We do not say 10 to the power $3, right? But in some cases, we use abstraction. Okay. So if I am asked, what is the weight of the earth? Okay, so you see that it has already abstracted or scientific notation, right? So it said 5.972 times 10 to the power 24 kilogram. Maybe it is pretty accurate. Who weighted that? Nobody weighted that, right? People assumed. Okay, so here we use abstraction. But if you do not use abstraction over here or abstract term over here, you will find difficult. Okay, so in our daily life, we sometimes use abstraction, we sometimes avoid abstraction. But in our programming languages, we will use abstraction a lot. For instance, but our concept is that Why you are discussing abstraction a lot? Because I like you to be clear. So whenever we say you will be using some abstract word, we will not ask further question. Why it is that? What does it do? This is not our business here, okay? Learning purpose over here. For instance, I give an example. What is it? This is a pen, right? Why it is called pen? I don't know. So ancient people, they named it as a pen. So I say pen, you say pen, right? We do not ask question like this. For instance, why it is not called a writer, a hard writer? Okay, pen could be a hard writer, a pencil could be a soft writer, right? That we can erase. We do not ask that question, right? If I need to learn history of pen, then I can do research, and I need to know. I can know how named it as a pen. So in our programming concept, you will see that we will use abstraction a lot, okay? But we will not ask further question, or we will not be confused, or we will not spend too much time learning about this. Yeah, we will jump in a few minutes. We will jump into many abstract words, okay? Anyone has any questions so far? I discussed until this in last lecture. If anyone is new or anyone has any question? Okay. So now let us go to next step. So how to describe an algorithm? There are many ways or multiple ways to describe an algorithm. Okay, if I ask you what is the next Walmart, you can give me the solution in multiple ways. You can draw a picture, right? You can tell me this way, that way, that way. You can send me text message, right? Or you can send me a voice message. For instance, when you do use Google search or directions what is the map apps, when you use, right? It gives us voice message, turn right, turn left, stop. It gives us some like picture, audio, right? Audio, video, right? So multiple times. So there are multiple ways to describe an algorithm. There are the simplest thing is using natural language, definitely in English, and there could be a picture or flowchart, or it could be a pseudocode, or in a specific programming language, or it could be a voice or video. Okay, so we will learn at least these three. We will be familiar with at least these three ways. For instance, if we use in natural language, so we will use like this is a way to describe an algorithm, how to register a course. Okay, and in natural English, and then when you write in natural English, it should be we discussed that one of the properties, it should be as precise as possible, right? We should not use 2 pages to write the steps how to register a course. That will not be a good algorithm. Or it could be a flowchart. Okay, so when you use flowchart, it has some symbol, specific symbol. For instance, this one oval is for start and end, is oval. Whenever we want to take a decision, this is a diamond sign, okay? And whenever we want to do an operation, then it will be a rectangular. Whenever we to do input and output operations, sometimes there will be a parallelogram. That is not used over here. So flow is shown by arrow, left to right, or right to left, or up to down, or down to up, arrows, okay? So we have to follow some specific symbols. Otherwise, if you do not use the oval sign at the starting and beginning, ending, you will lose point and people will confuse. Okay. So what are the components of an algorithm? The major components of algorithm are two things. One is some data and another instruction. Okay, but there may be some supplementary like ingredients or components. For instance, data is the first, and data, whenever we use data, data must be in a specific format. That should maintain a structure. That is called data structure. You will learn about data structure later, and it should have some instructions. The instruction may contain conditional or controls, or sometimes if the instructions are repetitive or reusable, then we put the instruction in a module. That is called grouping or a function that we make abstract. Okay, I will give you with example with this. Okay, for some people it is hard to think algorithmically. The first problem is a passion. People become impatient. Okay, you can try. If you want to teach someone a programming or something, the people will ask you to write the code first. Even if you want to spend 5 minutes or 10 minutes to explain the steps, many people will not be happy because they don't think algorithmically. But if you understand algorithmically, then you can code that algorithms in any language. Okay. So hope we will be patient. Okay. Sometimes you will see that I will repeat something, maybe 2 days or 2 times or 3 times. Don't be impatient, okay? I have my goal. And there are some syntaxes, like in English, right? There are some syntax, like spelling and grammatical syntax. We have to follow this, right? If I say he, then goes, right? Or if you say I, then go. So there are some rules and syntax, right? If I do mistake, then grammar will tell you, or people will tell you, oh, this is not good. So as like in English or other language, we follow some rules and syntax, grammatical and syntax. We will also need to use that in our programming. Okay. Okay, and this is the maybe last. Okay, a few more slides. So, what is a good approach to learn programming? Okay, to us. Many people may think other way to jump into programming fast, but to us who are computer scientists or we teach as academic, we won't go systematically, that is by algorithmic thinking. Okay, we will think fast, we will understand fast, we will be sure fast, or at least pretty sure what will be the effect of this statement that I am writing. Okay? Then I will write that. Okay? We will everybody does mistake. We will do mistake in our programs, but we will try to, whenever we find some mistakes, we will try to learn from there. And we will actually, it's clear, we will go to the right way and we will avoid wrong approach, that we will not be jumping into programming right away until at the beginning weeks or the few beginning lectures. Okay, and we will use some idea. I will jump into there quickly. And this is the summarization of this page. So it says, okay, so we will start our programming by developing algorithm. So what is an algorithm? An algorithm is a set of logical instructions, okay, that perform something. Okay, a good algorithm has 5 or 6 properties. It must be complete, it must be precise, it must be unambiguous, right? It is simple and it is correct, and it uses abstraction. And also, there is a word pseudocode, not code, actual code. Okay, that is called pseudocode. Okay, there is no example over here. So sometimes we can define an algorithm, we can explain or implement an algorithm using natural language, using a chart or flowchart, or using a program code, actual program, or even pseudocode. So in this course, we will learn writing and implementing algorithm in at least 3 languages, right? C++, C#, and Java, right? You will see that almost 80% statements are same language to language. I will discuss if there is a difference between language to language. There are some differences. 80% is same, okay? There are 2% difference. We will discuss this, and we will also learn programming in 3 languages. Okay, anybody has any questions so far? How about people from online? Has anyone any question you see from online? In the chat section. Okay, that's good. So we are good. We have completed module 1, part 1. So algorithm and abstraction. So what is an algorithm? Yes, a set of logical instructions. Okay. Okay, for the first thing also I forgot to tell you. Why do we need to use an algorithm? Solve problem. Okay, in order to write an algorithm or in order to solve the problem, we first need to understand the problem, right? If I don't understand the problem in my hand, I should not expect a solution, right? Even the solution is correct, I may not accept that, right? So first of all, we need to understand the problem. Okay? So all problems in this world cannot be solved using a computer. Okay? But we will discuss only the problems that are solvable. A subset of problems. Okay, so now let us go to the module 1, part 2. Okay, in next 30 minutes, I have my goal to complete this. Okay, so module 1 is the programming structure. What is the structure of a program? So you will learn the basic structure. By the way, in this course, many of you may have programming experience, or at least one language or multiple languages. If you take this course in computer science or CS principles in high school, or you practice yourself, but be patient. I will start from the beginning by thinking that there are some people who know nothing. Okay? So people who know this thing, please be patient. Okay? So we will learn the skeleton or basic format of programming and how to do print operation. That means to display something in our computer using a program, or how to declare a variable, reading user input, and doing basic sum calculation. We will go through with a simple program. You see that in our slides we will use these symbols. PS means pseudocode. This is Java, C#, and C++. These are familiar, okay? So whenever you see this symbol, Java symbol, on top of this slide, then you will understand that this code is in C++. okay, by looking this icon. Okay, so we will start with a simple program that does nothing, but that will give us an idea about the skeleton or format or structure of a programming. Okay, this one you should memorize, for at least this one. Something it will be better to memorize at this point, even without understanding. So I would like you to write some statements in your page, in a piece of pencil, multiple times, so that you become familiar with this. For instance, this is the skeleton or very basic skeleton of a program written in Java. It does nothing. It will not give you any input or output, but it is the format. You see that we need to using a system class, this one main class, for instance this one public static void main string args. For now all of these are abstract terms. Okay, so we should not ask any question what is meant by void at this point. Okay, you will learn that. Okay, so this structure is in C# and similar in C++. Similar in Java, similar in Java. Okay, and this is in C++ is quite different. In C++ the structure is different. Okay, and we'll write our code in between these places. You see that all of these languages, the opening and closing braces, these are required. This tells us that it is the starting of the main. This is the method. Okay, for now I can tell you to remember one thing, that whenever you see something, a pair of parentheses with after a name, a pair of parentheses, this is the pair of parentheses, right? So this is this is a function. This is called a function or a method. This is a good way to recognize, to detect a function, which is function. Whenever you see a set of parentheses, it may have something in between within the parentheses or not within the parentheses. Within the parentheses there is something that is called argument. Okay, but for now it's that this is main is a method, and C# we write in main is in uppercase, and in Java we write m is in lowercase. So all of the programming languages we will discuss here, almost 80% programming languages are case sensitive. So if it is needed to write in uppercase, you need to write in uppercase. If it is in lowercase, you need to write in lowercase. You see that everything over here except the main class name. Okay, almost everything is lowercase, right? The string S is in uppercase. In C#, this string is in lowercase. So I like you to memorize these three basic skeleton. How do we do that? Just write in a pen or pencil 5 times or 10 times. Then you will be familiar with, okay? And then the main method here is the starting point of our program. In some languages we do not need to use main, like Python. Using main is optional, like Scala, F#. Okay, but for these programming languages we will be learning here, the main method is required. Okay, then that is the starting point. Okay, and for this is the starting and this is the ending. And in pseudocode we need to write the begin main, end main. In programming languages they use parentheses, curly braces. Okay, so if you write in pseudocode you must write begin and you must write end, otherwise you will lose point. Otherwise it will not be perfect. Okay, so if we want to print something, print. This print means display on screen, not printing in a printer. Okay, so if you print something, for instance, hello world, and Bob was fine, was here, so what is something, right? We use print line. This is the method name. Okay, how do I say that is a method? This is in pseudocode we have a space here, but in other programming languages we have parentheses. You see the parentheses here, beginning and ending. So this is a method. So at this point, so print line is a method. We will not ask about how it works. We will learn that later. Okay, if you take advanced level course, maybe if you do PhD or masters, then maybe, otherwise not. Okay. So same things, the previous course are implemented over here in C# like this, in C++ like this. Okay, and you see C++ is quite different. Okay, and in Java is pretty similar to C#. Okay, so what we have learned so far? A language, all languages have ability to print on the console. Console means one print on screen. Soon I will jump over there. Okay, let me finish this screens. Okay, now the second thing. So let me show let me see how much it has. Okay. Up to this point, anyone has any question? Yes.
So the whole program goes into this skeleton?
The whole program?
Like this, like when you see the ending and beginning.
Of main, or class of main. We see here there are two endings and beginning here. So beginning this class, it begins with here and it ends here. And this main method, it begins here, it ends here. Yes, so they are the first step. If unless otherwise stated, this statement will be executed first, then this statement, then this statement. Let me copy this. Okay, and let us start for now. Let us start jumping to programming. Okay, so there are some IDEs that is needed to write program. Okay, so we will use Visual Studio, IntelliJ, Eclipse, or for quick presentation I will use Replit, repl.it. So this is a free online IDE. So I like everybody, please sign up here, create your own account. Okay, repl.it. repl.it. So anyone has an account in repl.it? What is the name? Oh, Jessica has. Anyone has? Okay, a few of them. Okay, whoever does not have an account, I would like you to create the account today, right after this class. Okay, and it is free, and you can use your KSU email. It needs to associate with an email address, right? Create an account. You can use a personal email. Even that will help. When you leave KSA, then still your account will exist. Okay. You can use your own account, own email address to create an account. So, if you go to Replit, repl.it, then I have my username, just my name, Mokhtar, first name. I'm sorry. Okay, so we need @ this is my account. You see? Okay. So if you go to my account, then you will see I have maybe 700 programs here. I have several hundreds programs in multiple languages: C#, C++, Java, Scala, F#, in many languages. Okay, and sometime I will write a new language over here. For instance, if I want to write a new program, I will click on plus sign, and then I will select the language, in which language I want to write the code. Then say Java. I will give the name of my program, say hello world example2 Java. I like the code like this way, so that I can see by looking the name of the last word of the program. Let me say this is Java. It already has a program with hello world Java example2. Maybe I can say 3. Already has a 3. Okay, maybe 5. Okay. So as soon as I click over here, so it will come with the default word, right? By default structure. That's good. So in some languages, in some we use IDE, we need to use public over here, like C# or IntelliJ. But in Replit we do not need public. So this is the class main, and it has public, static, void, main, string, args. For now we are memorizing this. We should not ask question what is meant by this. So if I run this program, this is the basic skeleton that I discussed. If I run this program by clicking over here, it will do nothing, because there is no output or input statement over here, so it will not do anything. Okay, so it will not do anything. So but if we want to do this thing, system.out.println, all of these 3 terms are for now abstract. We will run that later. Okay, so if we click on run, then it will show me hello world. The black screen on the right side, this is the output screen, that is called the console. We will see our output here. This program output here is hello world. This is my output. Okay, so in our demo program we had 2 other lines. These lines also, right? We have also this line. So if I run this program, then it will show hello world, and after that it will go new line. ln means new line, and it will show Bob was here. So this is a very simple program. Okay, so our goal is to, for now, just memorize this format. Okay, so it is showing me Bob was here. So if I want to convert this program in other languages like C#. Okay, let me copy this name. I like this name. And then click over here. Then I can select the other language, C#. If your language is not here, so then you can select the language, for instance F#. The language you frequently use will show it here. For other languages will be here. You see that there are many languages you can write. Okay, so then C#, I want to convert this. My program is C#. This one, right? So in previous languages I had, okay, sorry, system.out.println in Java, and then this is console.writeline. Okay, and then it was in Java it was system.out.println, and in C#, instead of system.out.println, we need to write console.writeline. So if I copy these 2 lines, if statement over here, and everything is same. So if so print hello world is coming 2 times, so I can disable this. Any statement that start with a double slash, that will be disabled. So compiler will not compile the statement. This is hello world, Bob was here. Okay, but if I want to convert this program in C++, it is a little bit different. Replete C++, hello world CPP, that means C++. So you see that it is coming in a different way, right? But in Java, okay, I'm sorry, in C# or Java, it was like this. It was like this. And but in C++, structure is completely different. So here, one thing. So these lines are showing error. This is called compiler error. Compiler does not understand C++. Compiler does not understand system. What is system? It does not understand. So it is complaining. This means giving error. Okay, so I can say star then slash. This is the starting of multiple lines comment, and then this is the ending of multiple line comments. So I can comment out this statement, and you see that if I run this code, it will show me hello world only. Okay, and sometimes I like to use, instead of using std then colon, this is called scope operator. Instead of writing this colon, I like to use using name space std, and like most of the languages, it uses semicolon at the end of a statement. So if I write this statement using namespace std, then every time I do not need to write this. I do not need to write this. I just see out. Okay, and then it will show me something. And you see at the end, this is called new line \n, and instead of this \n in C++, it has endl, end line, and that is equivalent to ln in Java. End line, that means it will do something. So then how can I convert these two statements in C++? So if I write this way, it will not work. So I need to do like this cout. Okay, cout hello world, and at the end I will put, I don't need parentheses, I will put endl. Okay, so hello world is coming 2 times. Then over here, hello world is coming 2 times, right? So but if I did not give the endl at the beginning here, then it will show me hello world in one line 2 times. Okay, and if I want to convert this statement over here, it is a little bit complicated. So here, first one I need to do cout, then instead of plus that is used in C# and Java, we need to use this output operator 2 times. This one, and here also this, we need to use this, and here at the end we need maybe nothing or endl. So then it will give us output. Anyone has a question about this? So C++ coding structure is a little bit different than C#, although names are pretty similar. but code are very quite different. Okay, so we should not need this. We don't need this code over here. Let me delete it, and I don't need this. So I don't need to hello world. Okay, it may stay here. So it is showing me the effect of not using ENDL. So the last ENDL will not affect, but if you put last ENDL, do not put here. You see that your output end is showing over here. You see. Okay, but if you give another ENDL, I prefer to give ENDL. NDL. So remember this. Next time I will get this here at the bottom. See the difference? I got it here, right? Previously, if I did not use ENDL, then it would come here. So anyone has any questions so far? You have a question? This is good. Online session. Good. Okay, so I like you to practice. Okay, start practicing this programming for this course from the very beginning, day one. Okay, do not wait for the test week. Then you will face difficulty. Okay, practice little bit every day. Do some programming. Okay, people, if you have heavy, what is it called? If you are heavily engaged in social networking, please for this semester or stop that. Okay, or limit time. Spend some that time, part of that time in programming. Okay, you may use your cell phone in Replit to create your to program. Okay. So at this point we got a startup, right? How to write a program in 3 languages: C#, C++, and Java. So everybody, I like everybody, before you come to next lecture, please create your own account, okay, in Replit, and then start programming, at least this program. 2 programs actually I will give you to practice. So this one, and then it's called, we'll discuss this later next week. So a variable is a placeholder that holds some value. So in your algebra course, you learn about variable, right? That holds some value or varies, x, y, z, a, b, c, right? Those are the variables, p, q, r, m, n. Here we will use variable to hold data. All programs use some data. Okay, and data are stored in memory permanently or used with variable. We will discuss variable maybe in the next lecture, but for now, a variable is declared within the method. It cannot be declared within a method, but for some cases in object-oriented programming, it can be declared within a class. Okay, for now I'm not going to discuss more in depth about class, but foresee the difference between this program, and this program. Let us do side by side. This program. So this program, you see that this is C# and this is C++. It seems that they are siblings, right? But they are not siblings. Although name are pretty, C# and C++ are pretty same, but they are quite different. So C++ has the ability to write a program without using a class or using a class. A program that contains a class, that is called object-oriented programming. We are not discussing object-oriented programming until the last quarter of this course. Okay, for now you see that in Java and C# program, it starts with a class. and the main method goes inside the class. But in C++ there is no class. Okay, a method is declared, a variable is declared within the method. Sometimes it can be within a class, but we will discuss that later. For instance, instead of hello world over here, I can declare this one string is w hello world equal to, I can put that value hello world, and instead of printing hello world here, I can say is w. Okay, it will do something. And instead of hello world, I can say this hello world. I can keep it here like this, or I can say is w. So this is w is over here. It is a variable that is holding my string. Okay, so similarly, I can use this code over here. So string hello world. So then instead of hello world over here, I will just write is w. Okay, so then it will give me same output. Say hello world. So here hello world is directly used, and here hello world is used through a variable. You see that at least this point the code is same. This line are same in C++ and C#. So this is a variable. Hello world is a variable. I can give any name of a variable as I like, but there are some restrictions. I will discuss those restrictions in our next lecture. Okay, so when you create a variable in pseudocode, we need to write the keyword create, and we need to give the name of the variable. Okay, we'll discuss this later, and this is in pseudocode format. For each variable, we need to give a different name. Okay, and this is in C# format. How to declare a variable is there are three variables over here. It has username, that is a string type, and it has GPA, that is float type. Two variables over here. I will discuss this later in our next lecture. And same thing, almost same thing in C++. It has same thing in C++ and also in Java. Okay, one more thing. So whatever we learned over here, all languages have abilities to declare variable. Variable means a location of a memory. Computer's memory, it assigns computer memory name. Okay, we will discuss this in our next lecture in detail. So one more thing I like everybody to practice. Not only practice, I like everybody to memorize this program. How many lines it has? So we are familiar with this line, right? We are familiar with this line, and we are familiar with using system. We are familiar with these three lines. We are familiar with how to declare a variable little bit, I just did. So we are also familiar with console.write statement, right? Okay, the only one thing that we are not familiar yet, that user input equal to console.readline. So readline is a method over here. I told earlier that how do I know that this is a method? It has a set of parentheses, right? So this method is used to take any input using keyboard. When you run this program, it will give you a prompt, and it will ask you, it will allow you to take some input, write your name, and then you will write your name and then hit enter. And then whatever name you will take, it will print that hello. Say if Jessica works on this, so if she enters her name Jessica, then you say hello Jessica. Okay, so I like everybody to memorize how many lines we need to memorize. Basically one new lines, right? This is a new, completely new, right? So for now our life will be easier if you please memorize this. This is an abstract program. Please do not ask question, what does this line do, this line do? For now, yes. Sorry, what is that question? Yes, all three languages, please, for now. For this one, all three languages. Practice this one in C#, this one in C++, this one in Java. Okay. So at this course, I told you that we will be learning 3 languages, right? Parallelly, we will be learning 3 languages. Although you are taking 1 language in your lab course, but theory you will be learning 3 languages. Okay. So for rest of these lines, so please practice. Okay. So whatever we learn, that we can use keyboard. We can prompt keyboard. Take a prompt from keyboard and to give our input, and we can display that. Okay. So for now, I'm stopping over here, and in next lecture we will discuss basic operator, mathematical operation, addition, plus, minus, subtraction, division. You are familiar with this. I will discuss something maybe that are not familiar. Okay, but for now I am giving you a homework. Okay, what is the homework? Okay, to practice this program in 3 languages. Okay, practice this program in 3 languages. Do not that should not be that now. An hour, right? 2 hours maximum for this weekend, by this weekend, okay? If you do this first homework well, then you will find once a day. Believe me. Okay, and please follow me and believe me, okay? Then our journey will be smooth. So anyone has any questions so far? Thank you everybody. Thank you so much. I'd like to see you next week. Bye bye. Yes, you have a question?